There comes a moment in every life when you catch your own reflection and realize the person staring back isn't quite who you thought you'd be. It's not always failure that haunts you. Sometimes it's something quieter. A subtle emptiness, a sense that somewhere along the way, you lost connection with who you could have been. That moment, that strange collision of awareness and discomfort, is where transformation truly begins. Because real change doesn't start when you quit your job, move cities, or reinvent your routine. It begins long before that. As a silent psychological revolution inside your own mind. We like to imagine transformation as a single event. A sudden awakening, a breakthrough, a turning point. But it's not an explosion. It's an evolution. A process of dismantling and rebuilding the very lens through which you see the world. Music builds softly. And that kind of change, the deep inner kind, isn't quick. It unfolds slowly, through doubt, through discomfort, through moments of raw introspection that most people run from. Carl Jung called it individuation, the process of becoming whole. Maslow called it self-actualization, the unfolding of your potential once your basic needs are met. But beyond theory, the truth is simple. Transformation begins when the pain of staying the same finally outweighs the fear of change. Most people never reach that point consciously. They repeat the same emotional patterns, run the same mental programs they learned as kids. They live inside invisible walls, beliefs so subtle they don't even see them. I'm not good enough. People like me don't succeed. It's too late to start over. Those thoughts sound harmless, but they quietly become the architecture of your life. The moment you start to notice those walls, you've already begun to outgrow them. Because awareness, simple, honest awareness, is the first act of rebellion against a conditioned mind. Neuroscience proves this. Every time you question an old belief, your brain literally begins to rewire itself. New connections form. Old ones fade. Your brain is not a static map. It's a living landscape, reshaping itself around every thought you choose. Transformation, biologically speaking, is you rebuilding your own mind. But here's the paradox. Everyone wants change without discomfort. They want evolution without friction. Yet discomfort isn't a sign you're failing. It's proof you're evolving. Your brain is leaving the familiar. Your ego panics, trying to keep you safe inside the known. Even when the known is what's been suffocating you. That's why growth feels chaotic. Why change feels like loss. Your old identity is fighting to survive. Psychologists call this homeostasis. The mind's urge to stay consistent with who you think you are. If your identity doesn't change, your habits never will. That's why real transformation doesn't start with habits. It starts with identity. If you see yourself as disorganized, you might clean your room, but chaos will find its way back. If you believe you're bad with money, you might save for a week, then sabotage it. But the moment you say, I'm learning to take care of my space, I'm becoming someone who manages money well, you invite a new identity. And once identity shifts, behavior follows naturally. Transformation is not self-improvement. It's identity reconstruction. Every breakthrough, from breaking addiction to healing relationships, starts when you redefine who you believe yourself to be. That's why therapy works. Why journaling, reflection, silence, all matter. They bring the unconscious into the light. And once you see what's been hidden, it loses its power. Music shifts, deeper tone. Transformation isn't linear. It's cyclical, progress, doubt, regression, clarity, renewal. It's the hero's journey. Leaving comfort, facing trials, and returning reborn. There's a phase psychologists call liminality. The in-between space where the old self dissolves and the new one hasn't yet formed. It's disorienting, uncertain, but it's necessary. Because without dissolution, there's no rebirth. And here's the science behind it. When you enter this liminal phase, ending a relationship, quitting a job, facing your past, your brain's default mode network lights up. That's the region where your identity narrative lives. Your brain is literally rewriting your personal story. Every time you repeat that new story with emotion, it wires itself deeper. Belief becomes biology. You're not just thinking differently. You're becoming different. But here's the trap. Most people try to change through willpower. While clinging to the old self, they say, "I want to be confident," while secretly believing they're insecure. The subconscious sees the lie and resists. Transformation requires truth before effort. You can't become someone new while lying about who you are. Radical honesty is the foundation. Not the kind that punishes, the kind that reveals. Here's what I feel. Here's what I avoid. Here's what still hurts. That level of truth cleanses the inner wound. Painful, yes, but necessary. Because you can't heal what you won't face. You can't transform what you won't feel. Transformation isn't about fixing yourself. It's about integrating the parts you've disowned. It's not self-attack. It's self-reconciliation. And that's when you begin to change, not from self-rejection, but from self-understanding. Emotional awareness is the cornerstone of lasting growth. Anger reveals your boundaries. Sadness shows your loss. Anxiety signals the space between who you were and who you're becoming. When you stop judging those emotions and start listening to them, you stop being trapped by them. Mindfulness, self-compassion, awareness. These aren't buzzwords, they're neurological keys. They calm the fear center of the brain and awaken the part responsible for growth. Kindness toward yourself literally rewires you for change. Music softens, hopeful. The real revolutions happen quietly. In the tiny moments, you choose differently. You pause before reacting. You breathe before speaking. You say no when fear would have said yes. Each of those choices is a micro-transformation, a new neural pathway forming. And one day, you'll look back and realize, the person you used to be wouldn't even recognize you now. That's the quiet miracle of transformation. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It doesn't demand perfection. It asks for participation. Growth never stops, it spirals. You revisit the same lessons, but from higher ground each time. Wiser, softer, freer. Because transformation isn't about becoming someone extraordinary. It's about remembering that being conscious, being awake, is extraordinary enough. You were never meant to stay the same. You were meant to evolve. To keep becoming, again and again.